All right, my friends. So, in closing for the social media course, you should be basically ready to move on to the building a fan base course that I have. Um, Once again, that course is a shining example of how things will likely have changed by the time you're watching that, but the information is still relevant. You're going to have to fill in gaps here and there, and unfortunately, it's just because of the dynamic nature of how fast social media websites change. It would be like if Ableton came out with a new version of their software every 3 to 6 months. You can make tutorials on how to produce inside of Ableton, but if you're watching a tutorial from last year, less than 365 days old or 366 days old, and Ableton's already come out with between 1 and 4 new versions of their software since then, it's very easy to feel lost because menus get moved, how things function change. So, at this point, you have your social media profiles. They should look fairly decent. You should be playing with the idea of running ads. If you're not sure how to do that and you're afraid because my broad strokes advice wasn't enough to get you going, I do have the building a fan base course to help you. Undoubtedly, things have changed since then on where to find what I suggest in that course as far as the layout of Facebook. So don't panic. Just understand that's the nature of the beast, and you're going to have to get your hands wet and dirty and dive in and learn stuff and spend some money and maybe even lose some money and troubleshoot who to target. Who do you sound like? Target their fans. Simple as that. Spend about $5 a day targeting fans of whoever you think you sound like, and really whoever fans and friends and family have told you that you sound like. Spend $5 a day for 7 days. Don't touch it. Let an ad campaign run. So basically what I mean by that is take a song and either put that song to a still image so that when that ad comes up on people's feeds and stories, they can hear the music, and it's to an image maybe of your logo, or I don't know, you at EDC, or just get creative with it. Even better, do something like I did and use my like I used my pineapple guy. Use some kind of cartoon or something of your branding that attracts people. So that the visual aspect is there. That way when they see it and it looks funky and cool and right up their alley, they turn the speaker on, or sound on if you will, and they realize, oh, okay, this is cool music. This is something a little bit different. The visual aspect is there. The audio aspect is there. I like this. I'm going to click through and go on to this guy Mikey's Facebook, or I'm going to click through and get onto his website. Either way, they've been pixeled. They get information about me. There's t-shirts for sale. This is who I am. This is what I do. They're pixeled. Now I can retarget them again and again, whether it be for sales, whether it be for a new track that I've just dropped, or whatever it may be. So in closing, you're going to, assuming that you followed all the steps and everything's ready to go, you have a website, it's pixeled, you have your pixels, those pixels have been put on your website, the website is complete, you've got your social media profile set up, you have music, you have logos, you have pictures, you're ready to go, you're ready to start targeting fans. Broad strokes, you're going to set up probably a video views or a conversion campaign, which will make a lot more sense when you first go to start an ad in Facebook. It'll ask you, what kind of ad do you want? Do you want it to be optimized for video views? Well, if you have a video, might not be a bad idea. If you don't have a video, you're probably not going to set up an ad campaign for video views. You might consider setting it up for conversions. Conversions, more or less, basically meaning I want you to show this ad. Let me start over. Facebook, I want you to show this ad to people that are likely to convert meaning click through to my website and do the action I want them to do, whether it be click through to my website, which will pixel you along your path to Spotify, where you'll listen to my music, or whatever website, SoundCloud, Apple Music, whatever it may be. Or maybe your conversion is to sell t-shirts. So I have a video, you like what you see, you like what you hear, click and buy a t-shirt. Understand though that these conversions are probably something that's going to take repeated exposure to achieve success with. I rarely have somebody see my video, even though it's fun and funky with Pineapple Guy, hear my music and be a completely new fan, and right then and there click through to my website and buy a t-shirt. They're going to want to hear my music a few times, be exposed to my Spotify, see what I'm doing on my Spotify, follow it, get a couple of hours under their belt of hearing my music, learning about me, getting educated, knowing my story, little things, Florida, California lifestyle. My mom died this year. Some things are sad, some things are kind of cool with the branding, but nevertheless, it's me and it's my story. And as they get to know me and follow me on social media, then you ask for the t-shirt buy, and it likely closes because they're like, yeah, I like this guy. He has good music. He's an actual human being. His mom had cancer, God forbid, but maybe they can relate to that. But they become human, and I become human to them, and we become fans of each other, really, and so they buy the t-shirt. So that's just going down the path of how an ad can work for you, especially after retargeting, repeated exposure, that is. So you'll set up an ad campaign. In that ad campaign, obviously, you're going to need media. So what I mean by that is maybe some kind of picture that attracts their eye, as well as music. So you'll link the music and picture together, and Facebook ads gives you that option further on down the road. But you'll basically either upload a video where your music is the audio aspect and you have a visual aspect, or you'll upload a picture and see if you can have the audio aspect of that picture, sound to that picture being your music. Once you iron that out, you basically have the ad, what people are going to interact with. You'll set a budget. I recommend about $5 a day. You'll point that whole thing, your budget and your music, towards a demographic. That demographic will likely be people who like EDM, but more specifically, what do you do? Is it future bass? Is it deep house? Use common sense and point your ad towards those people. And you'll point it towards them for 7 days. The reason why is because you want to give the ad time to gather data. After 1 day, after 3 days, the ad hasn't had a chance to be pointed towards enough people to really make a decision, or give you the data to make the decision, hey, am I pointing this ad towards the right people? You might be in future bass, but Marshmello is not a good demographic to point towards for you. Maybe that's because he's worked with hip-hop artists and a lot of pop artists. So if you're diehard future bass, you may be better off pointing it towards a future bass artist that has not tested the waters with pop and hip-hop. Because just because you make future bass does not mean people who happen to like Marshmello only because he's collaborated with Selena Gomez, they may not necessarily like your music, because they come from more of the Selena Gomez world where Marshmello and her collided, rather than more of the underground future bass world. So these are things to think about, and this is why you need to give your ad a week, a good week, if not week and a half, to gather data. Meaning you're gonna have to burn some money, $5 a day for 7 to 10 days, to give the pixel a chance to work, and then analyze those results. Did you get results that you wanted? Are you getting some likes, some interaction on your ad, some comments? if so, generally speaking, I mean, very broad strokes, generally speaking, you're on the right path. If you want to get more refined about it, how much are you spending per like or per fan? These are things to dive into later on with my building a fan base course. But like I said, if you're targeting Marshmello, keep in mind Marshmello isn't just underground future bass for DJs and producers. He has been in the pop and hip hop world. So if you're getting people attracted to your ad, and the pixel seems to be grabbing at people that don't seem relevant to your ad, take note of that, because who you told that pixel to go after may be incorrect, and it may not be because the artists themselves aren't future bass like Marshmello, because he basically is. It's because he's working with pop artists. So the pixel isn't going to understand, well, you asked me to target Marshmello, and I did, and people who liked Alone are a great target. But then as he got more popular and started working with people like Selena Gomez and Khaled, well, now things are getting murky because it's like hip-hop pop as well as future bass, and the pixel is confused because it's giving you results that are more pop-oriented than future bass oriented, and that's really not good for you or your bank account if you just make underground future bass. So super long-winded way of trying to help you understand to be careful who you target. You may love Deep House or like Jack in House, but David Guetta's what's his side project for like techie stuff, Blackjack or whatever, or Jack Back or whatever, I don't know. That may not be the best choice, because at the end of the day, that's still David Guetta, and he has also worked with people like the Black Eyed Peas. That may not be very relevant to your Jack and techie deep house thing. Same thing with Skrillex and dubstep. Pioneer of dubstep in the US for sure. But he's also worked with Justin Bieber. So you may make really loud, aggressive dubstep, but be targeting Justin Bieber fans because you've confused your pixel, because you told your pixel to target Skrillex. Well, if Skrillex is related to Justin Bieber, you may be burning money on Justin Bieber fans that are never going to like your dubstep sound, not to the degree of if you told your pixel to target, say, Crank That, right? Somebody more underground that has not worked with pop artists. And now you're telling the pixel to really drive home strictly people who really like dubstep on a much more underground level, maybe like a Bear Grylls or a Crank That, or something like that. So I'm losing my voice, guys, so I'm going to get out of here. But think about that as you're moving forward. You should be ready, though, to more or less dive into the world of running ads at $5 a day, and basically making headlines, which can be very helpful as well, and ad copy or words that attract people. What I like to do with that is do controversial headlines. I am not afraid to embrace the party aspect of our culture, and I'll probably get hate for it, and that's fine. But I've even tested headlines like tropical flavored Molly. Oh, I think so. And it does great, because most of the people I'm targeting can take a joke, and they realize tropical flavored Molly, the hell is this guy talking about? Well, Molly is a thing, like it or not. Tropical flavored, what does that mean? Well, oh, okay, I kind of see where this guy's coming from. He's got a pineapple head as a logo. He does a lot of steel drums and summer sounds in his future bass and house music. I get it. We're laughing. This is cool. I'm down. If you don't want to go the kind of edgy, druggy route, that's fine. You could do something like I've done before, which is maybe a headline like Best Tropical EDM Tune of 2020, Best EDM Tropical Tune of Summer 2020. Another headline could be Tropical EDM for your Summer 2020. Messing with verbiage of what I am. Tropical, EDM, summertime, targeting people in the summer of 2020 that like EDM with my sound in hopes that they'll like it while they're on vacation at the lake or the beach or whatever it may be in their backyard at the pool. You also might be controversial and ask a question. Something like, Tropical House is back? Well, target people who like Tropical House in 2020. Maybe they liked it back in 2015, 16, 17, 18, and are happy to see an artist from the US doing a tropical sound. You could do something controversial too, where you ask a question to the audience, and be prepared to get hate, by the way. It's going to happen. But something, I don't know, kind of just, do you like, maybe not so much straight up do you like, but asking people for their honest opinion about your music. Best EDM tune of 2020, now we're getting real controversial. You know, how dare you have the nerve to ask somebody. Now keep in mind, you're asking. You didn't state that you have the best music or the best EDM of 2020. You're asking, best EDM of 2020? Question mark? Shoulder shrug? That's going to get people interested in being like, who is making this claim that whatever this video or picture is with audio streaming to the picture, that this is the best EDM tune of 2020 or whatever it may be. Let me hear this. I got to check this out. And then there you go. Boom. You just got to listen. You may have gotten a like and you may have gotten a fan. Or you got to listen and a dislike and some hate in the comments. Either way, it's okay because people are talking about it and you're getting it in front of people. So just think about things like that as you begin to dive into the wonderful world of social media ads. It doesn't have to be scary. Pretty much what I told you to do here is good. As long as you're pixeled up on your website and you have music, point that music with an image or video to people who you think will like your music, and have your ad copy be a little controversial or eye-catching by making by asking a question. And you more or less should be able to get the water flowing into your house, if you will, meaning onto your social media platforms. And if you're targeting the right people, they really probably shouldn't have a problem giving you a like, leaving a comment. If you're finding that that's falling flat, I would kind of look at a few different things. Is the quality of your music truly there? It doesn't have to be the greatest thing of all time, but I mean, you know if your mix sounds like your idols, and if it doesn't, don't worry. We have an advanced mixing course to help you tighten that up. We have an advanced production course to help you tighten that up. But generally speaking, if you have the tools that you need, you know, relevant current sounds for the genre that you're creating, and you produced with those relevant current sounds, and you mixed it, and when you A/B that mix with your idols and it sounds pretty darn close, and your mastering is pretty darn close, meaning, you know, when you A/B it with your idols, your track isn't drastically lower in volume, at the very least, mastering wise, to your idols, then you know you're good. So if it's not a question of quality, it might be a question of demographic. Are you pointing it towards the right people? It could also be a question of what you've coupled with your audio. Does your video suck? Does your picture suck? You know, I know for a fact my Pineapple Guy video doesn't suck. So when I combine that with a relevant current tropical future-based sound, which pretty much nobody else is doing, but it's still commercially competitive with something like Marshmello's Alone, or a tropical future house or tropical piano house track, and it's relevant to people like Galantis or Matoma or Kygo, I'm pretty much on the right path. If I'm not getting results, it might be because I bumped something on my keyboard and I'm not targeting fans of Kygo or fans of Marshmello or something like that. So things to pay attention to, food for thought, and just a quick video on a crash course on how to run ads basically on these platforms. We dive a lot deeper in other courses. Like I said, the Building a Fan Base course is great for that, and there's no better teacher than the platforms themselves and the help that they give for free on their own platforms. So dive in, guys. Don't be afraid. You know, if you need to get a second job, find a way to have a marketing budget and a way to fund this stuff, because if you're truly serious, this is a business, and just like building your computer or buying Ableton, it takes money. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.